Arriving 2 years after its PS4 and Switch counterparts, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is finally on Xbox and Game Pass. It is the answer to the eternal question of, what if you took Minecraft, JRPGs, and a basic hack-and-slash action game and combined them? Sprinkle in some genuinely funny dialogue, then sprinkle in more dialogue, then dump a truckload more dialogue on top. For good measure, make the game essentially one incredibly long tutorial, up to 60 hours or more for newcomers. Then, lock basic things such as multiplayer behind roughly 15 to 20 hours worth of solo play to start. If this sounds to you like something I found both fun and extremely frustrating, then you're not wrong. Is it worth sticking out in the end though? Let's find out. I like Dragon Quest Builders 2, or I guess I should say I want to like it. There are few games that have started so strongly yet soured so thoroughly for me. The act of grinding out materials and then farming, fishing, building, etc. in this game, it's incredibly fun. Constantly losing control of my character for fanfares to play, or the unbelievably long dialogue-driven cutscenes, though, those are anything but. Let's start with that story. You are the hero, a builder who has been kidnapped by the baddies known as the Children of Hargon. For all the cutesy looks, there is a surprisingly adult story behind everything. After some basic tutorials in the starting ship area, there is a storm. You crash and end up on the first of multiple islands. With you are 2 other survivors. The ancient master of destruction, with no memory that he is, though the game makes sure you know it, Malroth, and an incredibly annoying character named Lulu. The Children of Hargon believe builders to be evil, and they want to kill you and every builder out there to try and appease their god. Building is darn useful though, and as you travel throughout the land, you quickly turn their followers to your side. The first island focuses on farming. There's another that's focused on mining and fishing and so forth. Each main area becomes its own bespoke land where your inventory does not carry over to the next, and over the course of roughly 65 or so hours, you'll make people happy and uncover the truth about Malroth. Well, you already know, but your character doesn't. The story was surprisingly deep, it was engaging at times, and it was way too long. Dialogue, while often hilarious, and let me say, whoever did the translation to English deserves a raise, because without those laughs and wit behind it, I could not have made it through as much of the story as I did. And the issue never goes away. It's the constant interrupting of the actual fun parts of the game, which is when you're actually able to play it. So many hours of my gameplay were spent scrubbing through text boxes so I could desperately try to get back to having fun. The sheer amount of written dialogue in this game is staggering. And if that sounds interesting to you, then you'll have a great time. But for me, I found quickly pressing A or B to try and get through that dialogue, and then having to wait for things like music fanfares playing and the non-stop loss of player agency as the game would pull me out of that fun gameplay to watch an animation was incredibly frustrating. I mean, at least things look nice. Graphically, the game is clean. Its colors pop, and the character and enemy models are classic Akira Toriyama. He is the famed creator of the Dragon Ball manga, and his style is here on full display, and I absolutely love it. Playing on an Xbox Series X, the resolution was crisp. The 60 frames per second never seemed to drop on my variable refresh rate enabled monitor. And as a Minecraft-style RPG, having clear color patterns and being able to denote quickly which block is which is key. And though it's a bit odd, I got used to the fact that your 3D models of things such as food are then replaced by good-looking 2D sprites once you harvest them. It can be a bit strange to plant and grow a cabbage in 3D and then have it turn into a sprite when it's finally in your hand when you're chomping away on it, but you get used to it. You grow or find things to eat to keep up your stamina meter and restore health. Crops are timer-based, though once grown, they never go bad. It's a much more forgiving system than something like Stardew Valley, and it is the right choice here. There are so many more things to focus on outside of the farming that any type of penalty system like that would have led to me probably quitting pretty early on. The soundtrack of the game will be familiar if you've ever played a Dragon Quest game before. Classic synth-style orchestral sounds are matched with similarly classic sound effects. There is no voice acting, but there are grunts and cheers from the game's humanoid and monster characters. The gameplay, though, is where things shine. Controls are tight, though occasionally placing blocks can be a bit of a chore in a tight space. Slowly but surely, you will unlock more options as you progress throughout the game, and the variety of activities at your disposal over time is its greatest strength. Though the inordinate amount of time that it takes to open everything up was unforgivable to me in the end. There is up to 4-player cooperative multiplayer, but I doubt most people who play this game through Game Pass will ever even know. To get to the point where you can play with your friends, you have to complete the entire second island. Even playing non-stop and focusing entirely on this took me just over 15 hours of gameplay. My wife had been interested in playing together after watching me, but after hearing this, she immediately lost any desire to give the game a go. There's no dedicated building mode being available so that you could quickly jump into a co-op game with your friends, and I found that to be a major misstep. A big part of a building game like this is being able to quickly jump in and have fun in a group. Time and time again, the game just simply does not respect your time, and it is a real shame, as the acts of building and farming and mining and fishing are incredibly fun. On the other hand, I found the combat to be boring and far too plentiful in how much of it there is. It's a very basic hack and slash system. You hack, you run away, you run back in, and you slash some more. And that's pretty much it for the majority of the time. You unlock a few more things as you progress, but again, it takes too long. In conclusion, there is so much more to talk about. This is a truly massive game. But if after all this, you are willing to put in the time, then going in spoiler-free is your best way. There is some great fun to be had in this game, but you need to be incredibly patient. The story is good. Most of the time, the gameplay is very fun, but the constant loss of control over things can be grating. As this is available on Game Pass for console and PC though, it is worth checking out if the premise of it interests you at all. I hope the series continues and learns that at the very least, a mode where I can just have fun playing it and not have to constantly skip dialogue would be able to make it something truly special. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please tick that little bell so that you'll know whenever we post something. It's pretty darned often. And we will see you here next time on XboxEra.